a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy.
Kirsten Gillibrand. Kirsten Elizabeth Gillibrand is an American attorney and politician serving as the junior United States Senator from New York since 2009. She previously held the position of U.S. Representative for New York's 20th Congressional District from 2007 to her appointment to the Senate by Governor David Paterson, a member of the Democratic Party. She is the state's second female U.S. Senator. In December 2008, President-elect Barack Obama nominated second-term incumbent U.S. Senator Hillary Clinton as United States Secretary of State, leaving an empty seat in the Senate. Gillibrand was required to run in a special election in 2010 for the permanent position after her inauguration, which she won with 63% of the vote. She was re-elected to a full six-year term in 2012 with 72% of the vote, the highest margin for any statewide candidate in New York. Early life and education. Kirsten Elizabeth Rutnick was born in Albany, New York, on December 9, 1966. The daughter of Douglas Paul Rutnick and Polly Edwina Noonan. Both her parents are attorneys, and her father has also worked as a lobbyist. Her parents divorced in the late 1980s. Gillibrand has an older brother, Douglas Rutnick, and a younger sister, Erin Rutnick Chantrat. Her maternal grandmother is Dorothea Polly Noonan, a founder of the Albany Democratic Women's Club, as well as a leader in Albany Mayor Erastus Corning's powerful political machine, which lasted for more than 40 years. She has English, Austrian, Scottish, German, and Irish ancestry. During her childhood and college years, Gillibrand used the nickname Tina. She began using her birth name of Kirsten a few years after law school. In 1984, she graduated from Emma Willard School, an all-women's private school located in Troy, New York, and then enrolled at Dartmouth College. Gillibrand majored in Asian Studies, studying in both Beijing and Taiwan. While in Beijing, she studied and lived with Connie Britton. Gillibrand graduated magna cum laude in 1988. While at Dartmouth, she was a member of the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority. During college, Gillibrand interned at Republican U.S. Senator Alphonse D'Amato's Albany office. Gillibrand received her J.D. from UCLA School of Law and passed the bar exam in 1991. Law career. In 1991, Gillibrand joined the Manhattan-based law firm of Davis Polk. In 1992, she took a leave from Davis Polk to serve as a law clerk to Judge Roger Minor on the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit in Albany. Gillibrand's tenure at Davis Polk is best known for her work as a defense attorney for Philip Morris during major litigation, including both civil lawsuits and U.S. Justice Department criminal and civil racketeering probes. She became a senior associate while working on Philip Morris litigation. While this time in her career has proven controversial, Gillibrand said her work for Philip Morris allowed her to take on multiple pro bono cases defending abused women and their children, as well as other cases defending tenants seeking safe housing after lead paint and unsafe conditions were found in their homes. While working at Davis Polk, Gillibrand became involved in, and later the leader of, the Women's Leadership Forum, a program of the Democratic National Committee. Gillibrand states that a speech to the group by First Lady Hillary Clinton inspired her, was trying to encourage us to become more active in politics, and she said, "If you leave all the decision-making to others, you might not like what they do, and you will have no one but yourself to blame." It was such a challenge to the women in the room, and it really hit me. She's talking to me. Following her time at Davis Polk, Gillibrand served as special counsel to Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Andrew Cuomo. During the last year of the Clinton administration, Gillibrand worked on HUD's labor initiative, and its New Markets initiative, as well as on TAP's Young Leaders of the American Democracy, and strengthening Davis-Bacon Act enforcement. In 1999, Gillibrand began working on Hillary Clinton's 2000 U.S. Senate campaign, focusing on campaigning to young women and encouraging them to join the effort. Many of those women later worked on Gillibrand's campaigns. Gillibrand and Clinton became close during the election, with Clinton becoming something of a mentor to the young attorney. Gillibrand donated more than $12,000 to Clinton's Senate campaigns. In 2001, Gillibrand became a partner in the Manhattan office of Boies Schiller, where her client was the Philip Morris parent company Altria Group. In 2002, she informed Boies of interest in running for office and was allowed to transfer to the firm's Albany office. She left Boies in 2005 to begin her 2006 campaign for Congress. 2006. Gillibrand considered running for office in 2004, in New York's 20th congressional district, against the three-term Republican incumbent John E. Sweeney. However, Hillary Clinton believed circumstances would be more favorable in 2006 and advised her to wait until then. Traditionally conservative, the district and its electoral offices had been in Republican hands for all but 4 years since 1913. And as of November 2006, 197,473 voters in the district were registered Republicans, while 82,737 were registered Democrats. Sweeney said in 2006 that no Republican could ever lose. Using New York's electoral fusion election laws, Gillibrand ran in 2006 on both the Democratic and Working Families lines. In addition to having the Republican nomination, Sweeney was endorsed by the Conservative and Independence parties. During the campaign, Gillibrand got support from other Democratic Party politicians. Mike McNulty, a Democratic congressman from the neighboring 21st Congressional District, campaigned for her, as did both Hillary and Bill Clinton. The former president appeared twice at campaign events. Both parties poured millions of dollars into the respective campaigns. Many saw Gillibrand as moderate or conservative, the American Conservative stated after her eventual victory. Gillibrand won her upstate New York district by running to the right. She campaigned against amnesty for illegal immigrants, promised to restore fiscal responsibility to Washington, and pledged to protect gun rights. Gillibrand's legal representation of Philip Morris was an issue during the campaign. Her campaign finance records showed that she received $23,200 in contributions from the company's employees during her 2006 campaign for Congress. The probable turning point in the election was the November 1 release of a December 2005 police report detailing a 911 call by Sweeney's wife, in which she claimed Sweeney was knocking her around the house. The Sweeney campaign claimed the police report was false and promised to have the official report released by state police, but did not do so. The Sweeney campaign did release an ad in which Sweeney's wife described Gillibrand's campaign as a disgrace. By November 5, a Siena poll showed Gillibrand ahead of Sweeney 46% to 43%. She won with 53% of the vote. 2008. Following Gillibrand's win, Republicans quickly began speculating about possible 2008 candidates. Len Cutler, director of the Center for the Study of Government and Politics at Siena College, said that the seat would be difficult for Gillibrand to hold in 2008, noting Republicans substantially outnumbered Democrats in the district. Gillibrand won her bid for re-election in 2008 over former New York Secretary of State Sandy Treadwell by a 62% to 38% margin. Treadwell lost by that margin despite significantly outspending Gillibrand and promising never to vote to raise taxes, not to accept a federal salary, and to limit himself to 3 terms in office. Campaign expenditures were the second highest in the nation. For a House race, Democrats generally saw major successes during the 2008 congressional elections, credited in part to a coattail effect from Barack Obama's presidential campaign. Gillibrand's legal representation of Philip Morris was again an issue. Her campaign finance records showed that she received $18,200 from Philip Morris employees for her 2008 campaign, putting her among the top dozen Democrats in such contributions. Questioned during the campaign about her work on behalf of Philip Morris, Gillibrand stated that she had voted in favor of all 3 anti-tobacco bills in that session of Congress. She said that she never hid her work for Philip Morris, and she added that as an associate at her law firm, she had had no control over which clients she worked for. The New York Times, reporting on this issue, said that Davis Polk's official policy was that associates were allowed to withdraw from representing clients about whom they had moral qualms. House tenure. Upon taking office, Gillibrand joined the Blue Dog Coalition, a group of moderate to conservative Democrats. She was noted for voting against the Emergency Economic Stabilization Act of 2008, citing concerns about insufficient oversight and excessive earmarks. Gillibrand opposed New York plans to issue driver's licenses to illegal immigrants, and voted in favor of legislation withholding federal funds from immigrant sanctuary cities. After taking office, Gillibrand became the first member of Congress to publish her official schedule, listing everyone she met with on a given day. She also published earmark requests she received and her personal financial statement. This Sunlight Report, as her office termed it, was praised by a New York Times editorial in December 2006 as being a quiet touch of revolution in a non-transparent system. Regarding the earmarking process, Gillibrand stated she wanted what was best for her district and would require every project to pass a greatest need, greatest good test. U.S. Senate. On December 1, 2008, President-elect Barack Obama announced his choice of Hillary Clinton, the junior U.S. Senator from New York, as Secretary of State. Clinton was confirmed by a vote of 94-2 on January 21, 2009. Just hours before being sworn in as Secretary of State, Clinton resigned her Senate seat, effective immediately. Obama's December announcement began a 2-month search process to fill her vacant Senate seat. Under New York law, the governor appoints a replacement. A special election would then be held in November 2010 for the remainder of the full term, which ended in January 2013. Governor David Paterson's selection process began, with a number of prominent names and high-ranking New York Democrats, including Andrew Cuomo, Fran Drescher and Caroline Kennedy, vying for the spot. Gillibrand quietly campaigned for the position, meeting secretly with Paterson on at least one occasion. She said that she made an effort to underscore her successful House elections in a largely conservative district, adding that she could be a good complement to Chuck Schumer. Gillibrand was presumed a likely choice in the days before the official announcement. On January 23, 2009, Paterson held a press conference to announce Gillibrand as his choice. The response within New York to the appointment was mixed. The upstate New York media was generally optimistic about the appointment of an upstate senator, as one had not been elected since Charles Goodell left office in 1971. Many downstaters were disappointed with the selection, with some media outlets stating that Paterson had ignored the electoral influence of populous New York City and downstate on state politics. One questioned whether Paterson's administration was aware of statewide elections are won and lost. Gillibrand was relatively unknown statewide, and many voters found the choice surprising. One source stated, "With every Democrat in New York angling for the appointment, there was a sense of bafflement, belittlement, and bruised egos." When Paterson tapped the junior legislator unknown outside of Albany, Gillibrand was sworn in on January 26, 2009, at 42. She entered the chamber as the youngest senator in the 111th Congress. In February she endorsed Scott Murphy, who had been chosen by the New York Democrats as their nominee for her now vacant seat in the House of Representatives. In April, Murphy won the seat against Republican Jim Tedesco by 399 votes, and succeeded Gillibrand in the House until 2011.
Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?